right. Emma, I just want to ask you, just in terms of the team's performance, but particularly how the bench played, how Izzy, Rebekah, and Stephanie played tremendous. Your thoughts about that?
It's never easy. Like hearing right before the game that there's more people out, and you know, it's just so cool for them to be so prepared. They wait their moment and they go out like this and get us that win. So I'm really happy for them too. And for myself too, because we all needed that energy of the bench. I think we all knew that they could do it, but to be able to do it prepared but unprepared, you know what I mean? That's good.
Emma, when it comes to the type of message a game like this can send, what does it send to not only the rest of the league, but perhaps this locker room as well?
How I look at it, we're not looking at the other teams at this point. We're just looking at ourselves, like maybe send a message to ourselves of what we can do. When we're locked in, when we play together, make the ball move. So we see that if we do that, it makes it so much easier.
Emma, talking about being locked in, 4 offensive rebounds for the Mystics in the first couple of minutes, but then just 2 the rest of the way. You guys win the rebound battle 35-22. What improvements did you see on Clayton last time?
I think we're doing constant reminders of that, talking to each other about it, like in timeouts or in halftime, so that we know that we have to keep fighting for that, boxing out. The little ones coming in, I mean, not little ones, but guards coming in to get those. So just talk about it.
Emma, how big of an impact?
I see a face.
How big of an impact was Rebekah Gardner's minutes? I mean, I know, I've talked to her about you. The two of you played together in 2022. So how exciting was this for you to see her get this opportunity?
I love playing with Beck because she's like so shifty and moving so fast. She has a lot of moves, I think. Even though she's not a post player, she gets a lot of moves in the post too. The fakes and the cross steps, and I'm just happy for her that after all the injuries she had the last few years, that she's able to go out there and then show that she's still there.
Emma, what did you like about just the offensive movement overall? It seems like the past couple games there's a lot more, whether it's rolls or just cuts off of the wings. Just what have you noticed from that?
I think we just let the ball move. Without thinking too much about it. We just passed it to the open man. We were moving. I think that was very good too. Sometimes we're just like waiting outside to see what's going to happen. But when you're missing a lot of players too, we just going and reading the game. So I think that's really what happened today. We also had a good practice yesterday, so maybe that helped too, to work on some details. So I think it felt good,
Emma, 23 assists tonight for the entire team. That means 49 in 2 games. What's been the secret sauce, secret recipe, and I would say free-flowing moving offense that's been on point and connected?
I think just the answer I gave before, just moving and passing to the open man. We were just not really too focused on playing one-on-one or something, because it's easier if you just read it, you move into the gaps, and then keep your eyes up, and it just happens that way, I think that's what I mean with basketball can be sometimes very easy if you just read it.
Speaking of easy, this team got to the foul line, has gotten to the foul line 43 times in their first 7 periods over the past 2 days. So what has been the key to rediscovering that healthy physicality again?
Going to the basket, not just settling for shots. We're moving, so if you move, defense has to grab more people. It's not always expected what we do, so for them neither to prepare. So I think just us not being too passive.
Emma, what's it going to take for you guys to come home from this road trip where you want to be?
Say again?
What's it going to take for you guys to come home from this road trip you're about to go on to be where you want to be heading into the playoffs?
Honestly, I'm just going step by step. So today, this game was the most important. I was not really thinking about the rest of it. And I think for this road trip too, day by day, practice by no practice. There's no practice, but game by game too. Now it's Phoenix that we have to set our minds to, and just keep working on ourselves. and then we'll see. Like, I don't want to be talking about playoffs and anything when we still have some games to go in the regular season.
Yeah, Emma, go ahead, Breanna. I appreciate it. By the way, shout out to the Match and Pink, you and Brian right here with that. MJ, in terms of her having 5 assists and only 1 turnover tonight, her decision making being really steady, as well as, of course, 3-point shooting. You talk about her performance and stepping up the way she did.
She did step up. Maybe the fact that you're going to have a lot of minutes too helps with confidence. Like, you can make mistakes even when you don't play a lot, but maybe that's like some break that's gone. So I like the confidence boost that she had, and like she was talking a little bit more. She can talk more still, but I like seeing the growth.
Emma, you got some more minutes with Stewie tonight. Just really take us through how that felt. I mean, there were some pretty cool-looking connections between the two of you. A lot of that high-low passing. How did that feel, and how do you look to build upon that?
Felt familiar. I don't know how many years we played together before, but that's the game. It's just free-flowing. You start from some structure, and then it's just reading it. I told her before to just talk to me a lot, because this is only my 2nd game with her in New York. But after all, it's just she's Stewie and she does something amazing, and then you give it to her. So it's easy to play with Stewie.
So what sort of message could this send, not only perhaps to the rest of the league, but more importantly perhaps to this locker room as well?
I would just say that, it's a great game to have at this time, and that the luxury of our team is it doesn't matter who's out there. So it was a great win for us, especially being that we haven't got a win that we really felt good about. So this is one where I think we can build off of.
RG, can you just talk about this, the way you performed again, always staying ready on both ends of the court, not only your defense, but passing, the 3-point shot as well?
Mm-hmm.
And just talk about your overall performance there.
I would just say, my opportunities have not been, at the highest that, I wish, but that's why when I step on the court, every single possession, like I told you before, I try to take advantage of every single possession out there, whether it's defense, offense, even the stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. I just try to do everything I can to help the team, and also my teammates have been really supportive and helping me stay ready. Also Andrew and Coach Sonia helping me play with the guys and staying ready. So when I do get opportunities, I feel great out there.
Beck, how do you feel like this team took a step forward when it came to the rebounding? It started rough, but then you ended up out rebounding the Mystics.
Yeah, that's been a focus for us for the last, probably all season. So we just always say everybody box out and the guards need to get in there and help. And like I said, this game there was a lot of positives that we can build upon going into the playoffs. So, and rebounding is one of those things.
Beck, it looked like yesterday's practice, a lot of focus on communication. Today, a lot of defense looked a lot cleaner, especially communication. Just how was the practice like yesterday really important?
I feel like we haven't had a lot of time to practice. That was our first real practice probably since All-Star break. And communication has been another focus. So we again did that today, and the more we communicate, the better we're connected. So we just need to keep doing that.
There was a sequence in the 3rd quarter where you drove and then dropped it off to Izzy, who got fouled. The next time she was in the paint and then found you cutting. Can you just share a little bit of that 2-man game that you guys were able to get into tonight?
Yeah. Also, another thing about that is me and Izzy play a lot with the guys. We were just playing yesterday, so I feel like we are learning each other a lot more. And that showed today when we in that 3rd quarter sequence. Yeah, that was a little 1-2 punch.
So I was going to ask you about, you and Steph, right, in the Stay Ready group, we saw in practice playing 3-on-3. In what ways maybe is this, if at all, a unique Stay Ready group, or just what led to all 3 of you having really strong performances off the bench?
I do think that our team is like unique, and as in like the bench are players that with experience and things like that. So I feel like we're all at the point of our career where we're professional enough and like responsible enough to make sure we are ready. And like I said, we have the help with the coaching staff too that helps us do that. But yeah, I think that it's a unique group. We're not like young players, you know, and we understand that in the playoffs or on a team like this, like you never know when your opportunity will come, so you just have to stay ready.
Beck, can you take us through, I guess, your approach cutting off the basketball?
Mm-hmm.
We sort of see you moving everywhere. What sort of is going through your head? What's your decision making when you're cutting?
Yeah, I feel like that's something that I've always done. I know that like we have a 5-out offense, so I have to be like particular of when I do cut. I've had to learn like who I can cut with and who not, but I think as like we move the ball more, it gets easier to figure out when to do that. But I don't know, I think it's just like a natural instinct. Sometimes I cut too much and like I ran into people, but I'm like I said, I'm learning. I'm learning to do better with that. But it's just a natural instinct, and we have great passers on our team that like find me, so that makes me want to cut even more. So.
How you felt you dealt with dealing with Centron? I know those 2 threes at the end of the second quarter. And coach probably make that a point of emphasis at halftime. And she only had one attempt at late 3 in the fourth. Can you talk about how you dealt with Centron as a team tonight?
Yeah, well, we shifted to zone, and even within the zone, like we made a focus, especially at halftime, to make sure we knew where she was, and that goes back to like the communication aspect. So yeah, I feel like we did a good job adjusting in the second half.
Everyone good?
Rebekah, one more at time. You talk about having a win that this team could feel good about, but it takes a certain level of focus to get through the end of the season and into postseason
For
play.
sure, yeah.
How do you balance that? And how do you like still relish this, but go ahead and keep collecting wins?
I mean, I think it's just kind of like what I said earlier, feel good about it, but like build upon it. And we know like, okay, we got the win. We were supposed to win today. And now we have to go into Phoenix and like do even better. So yeah, just continue to build on it.
Just want to ask you, talk about the team's performance tonight. Only 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
Tight defense. Just your thoughts about it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that, you know, we really focused on who we had and playing with that and knowing that everyone is impactful when they're on the court and making sure that our effort, rebounding 50-50 balls were kind of a non-negotiable. And it was just finding the open person. You know, I thought Maureen had a great game, Izzy had a great game, Steph had a great game. And that's that depth that's really important as we get down to the final stretch.
You guys have been dealt with so much adversity in terms of like being in and out of the
Yep.
lineup, but why do you think today, like your pregame messaging to the team in particular, because Izzy said you
Yeah.
were the one that kind of talked
Yeah.
about, why do you think maybe it really stuck and like was something that you guys all stepped up in a certain way?
Because I think it's a thing that, you know, sometimes it can dictate your mood without you even consciously knowing it. You know, knowing that, like, dang, someone else is sick, someone else is not feeling good, someone else is hurt. And I wanted them to focus on what we did have and who was here, because all of these players are super important to our team, and we have that fight. And this is a team that they're fighting for a playoff spot or whatever they're fighting for. And these are the hardest teams to play right now, the ones that are having a sense of desperation, but so are we.
Breanna, it was important to get off to a good start today to contrast what happened on Saturday in Atlanta. So when through that start, what did it mean, and throughout the entire game, what did it mean to see Maureen Johannes do Maureen Johannes things, and how much of an anchor has she been as the one player to partake in all 39 games so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think Maureen, you know, she comes in and she's aggressive, and I think when she's like that, that's when we're at our best. So to be able to help put her in those positions to knock down threes or find the open person, you just see her out there comfortable, playing and not thinking, and she's someone that we look to whenever she's on the court.
Izzy's another one of those players that like she hasn't played in nearly 3 weeks.
Yeah.
For her to come in and like show no rust basically. I mean, how important is it to have another healthy Poso?
Yeah, no, I think it just gives us another anchor, and for her to come in, she let the game come to her. You know, knocking down threes, rolling to the rim, playing good defense, like just stepping up when we needed it most. And you know, sitting out, it's tough. So she was probably antsy to get back like the rest of us, and it's just that energy and depth that's important, and hopefully we'll continue to get some more people back.
Stu, I know it's one game at a time.
Yeah.
But how big is it? What do you need to do for this road trip to come home
Yeah.
where you want to be?
We need to win all the games. We need to win the rest of our games. But I think, what we've done on the road, we've kind of been subpar. Not normal to what we have been in years past. And we need to go and be road warriors. Like, we're going to go into other people's gyms. They're going to be playing desperate. It's going to be tough basketball, but, making sure that they feel us the entire 40 minutes and dictating the tone and the tempo of the game.
Stewie, Rebekah Gardner played a big role in tonight's game. Just what were you seeing out of what she was able to contribute?
I think with Beck, it's the hustle plays. You see her coming in, making stops, getting hands in passing lanes, but then, knowing when to cut, when to move on and off the ball. And she's one of our guards that come in and really help us in the rebounding area.
Breanna, when it comes to a game like this, what sort of statement can it make, not just to the rest of the league, but perhaps this locker room as well?
That we can do anything that we put our minds to.
Do you still have moments watching Marine where you catch yourself saying holy shit?
Well, didn't she nutmeg someone?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I was like,
That's
wait, did she just did that?
You get used to it after.
Yeah, you're used to it. When she gets in her flow like this, a one-legged three is probably happening. But I think what was cool is just see her having fun. Makes or misses or assists or turnover. She's out there playing, and that's what we need.
A few more.
A lot of zone tonight.
Yeah.
Sandy was talking about that. In recent weeks, communication, especially on that rebounding, has been an issue.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of trust to put on you guys
Yeah.
to communicate
Yeah.
in the zone. How are you able to overcome just some of the mismatches,
Yeah.
some of the positioning there?
Yeah, I think obviously the zone is great. DC is one of the lower three-point teams in the league, but also because we had 8 players. So we had to really communicate. People were in different spots, like Izzy was on the perimeter one at a time, Emma was on the perimeter, but knowing where we don't want the ball to go to, finding Sonia, she shot lights out tonight, and knowing where we're rotating and who we're rotating to.
I just wanted to know, is the mixed match pair sneakers, is that a new theme? How's that going on?
Those are my timeless shoes, and they come mixed matched. Honestly, I had a meet and greet at Snipes, so they were pre-releasing early there, so shout out to them. But yeah, for the floors, I wanted to have color and vibes and just a little bit of wild.
Can you just think about the past, present, and the future on the back? And I saw that the word future
Yeah.
is kind of imprinted on both shoes.
Yeah, so basically on the shoe, it says it, past, present, and future overlap. You just can't see it because of the design. You know what I mean? So it's just to pay homage to everyone that's been a part of what we're doing here and know where this league is going to go.
Stewie, how did the minutes with Emma feel? Obviously against the Sun you only had 2,
Yeah.
but you had much more tonight.
Yeah. No, it felt great. Emma and I have played together, so not worried about the chemistry, just getting the time together. And whether it was a big lineup or a smaller lineup, which seemed like we were a big lineup most of the night, just wanting to find her and also give her the ball to make playmaking decisions because she reads the game the right way, and it's something that we'll just keep building on.
Just a quick question on Phoenix in particular. That's a team that's had your guys' number
Yeah.
quite a few times this
Yeah.
season. There's tiebreaker implications,
Yeah.
there's standing implications.
Yeah.
It's a really big game for you. I guess how do you balance that heading into that?
It's like a playoff matchup. It's like you said, it's a big game, big implications, and not shying away from that, understanding what this game means, and going out and doing what we can to come away with the W. See ya. Playing at Phoenix isn't an easy feat, but we have to just make sure we're on the same page defensively, and that's gonna dictate a lot of our stuff on offense.